Let's talk about AI chatbots. For years, they've been kind of clunky, right? Simple Q&A bots at best. Well, that's all changing. Today, we're going to dive into how these new intelligent agents are becoming absolute powerhouses for businesses, helping them grow, wow their customers, and just get way, way more efficient. So let's get into it. You know the feeling. Every business has it, that constant, nagging feeling that you're just drowning in busy work. We're talking about all those little repetitive, manual tasks, data entry, follow-ups, internal reports. All that stuff quietly eats away at your time, your energy, and your money. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not just about a few wasted minutes here and there. It's about burning actual cash on inefficiency. And even worse, it's about killing your growth because your team is stuck doing mundane work instead of innovating and pushing the business forward. This isn't just a small problem, it's a huge roadblock. But imagine for a second, what if you could just hand all of that off? What if you had a system that could run all those essential but super time-consuming processes for you 24/7 without ever getting tired or making a single mistake? Well, that's exactly the promise we're going to unpack. The solution is already here, and it's this new wave of AI agents. Seriously, you should think of them less like a chatbot and more like an intelligent, tireless co-pilot for your business, ready and willing to take on all the tasks that are holding you back. And this is where we see the massive leap forward. We've all been there, right? Arguing with some old rule-based chatbot that just keeps saying, "I don't understand." They follow a rigid script and are completely useful if you ask something new. Well, today's AI agents are a different species entirely. They get the intent behind what you're asking, they actually learn and get smarter over time, and they can have a real natural conversation that's actually helpful. So what's the secret sauce? It's a technology called generative AI. And here's the key difference. Instead of just pulling an answer from a pre-written list, it can create brand new original content on the fly. It's the difference between a machine that can only recite facts and one that can actually communicate and, in a way, reason. This is the engine that makes it all possible. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds incredibly complicated to set up. But check this out. You don't need a PhD in AI. You can literally train your AI agent by just letting it read your existing documents, like your FAQs or product manuals. You can even just give it a link to your website and say, "Go learn." It absorbs all that information and can even plug right into the tools you're already using, like your CRM. It's designed to be surprisingly simple. Okay, so let's get practical. Where does this make the biggest, most immediate splash? For most businesses, it's customer service. This is where AI agents can completely change the game for your customer experience, like overnight. Just picture it, a world where your customers never, ever have to hear that dreaded hold music again, where their common questions get answered instantly, correctly, and politely any time of day or night. This isn't some far-off future. This is what AI support is doing right now. It turns a moment of potential frustration into a super smooth, positive experience. And here's what that actually looks like. A huge slice of the pie. About 40% of support work is just answering the same questions over and over. And AI can handle that in its sleep. But it gets way smarter. It can intelligently send a complex problem to the right human expert, it can sense if a customer is getting upset, and it can even handle tasks like booking an appointment or confirming an order. And the results? Well, it's a total win-win-win. Your customers are way happier because they get what they need instantly. Your response times drop through the floor. And your human support agents, they're finally freed up from the repetitive stuff, so they can focus their brainpower on solving the really tough problems where they can make a real difference. But amazing customer support is really just the beginning. This same AI technology can be an absolute engine for growth across your whole business, from boosting sales to streamlining how you operate. So let's look beyond the support desk. Think about your website right now. For most, it's kind of like a static brochure. But with an AI agent, it wakes up. It becomes an active, 24/7 salesperson. It can chat with visitors, answer their questions, figure out if they're a good lead, and even get them to book a sales call, all before a single person on your team has had their morning coffee. And this isn't just theory. Look at these real examples. You've got law firms automating their entire new client intake process. Real estate agents making sure no lead ever goes cold. Startups that can scale up without hiring a ton of people because they've automated things like lead capture and payment reminders. It's incredibly flexible and works in pretty much any industry. And here's where it really hits home, the actual business impact. Check this out. One online clothing store used automation for things like order confirmations and inventory alerts, and they cut their fulfillment time by 30%. 30%! That's a direct boost to your bottom line and a huge win for your customers. Okay, so you're probably seeing the potential here. The big question is, how do you actually get started? It might feel a little overwhelming, but the truth is, you can break it down into a really simple, straightforward plan. So here's the framework. You start with step 1, assess. Just look at your business and find the biggest time sinks. Then, you select the right tool for that specific job and integrate it with the systems you already use. Step 4 is train. You feed the AI the info it needs to be an expert on your business. And then, the most important part, step 5, you monitor how it's doing and keep making it better. It's a cycle of constant improvement. And honestly, here's the best piece of advice. Don't try to automate everything at once. You don't need a huge team of developers. Just find one small process where automation could have a really big impact. Start there. Get a win, prove that it works, and then build from there. When you boil it all down, this is the massive shift we're talking about. This quote really says it all. You have tasks that used to take your team hours, maybe even days. Now an AI can do them in seconds. It's a totally different way of thinking about the speed and scale of your business. So I'll leave you with this final thought. If research is right, an AI can potentially free up almost 3/4 of your team's day. The question really isn't if you should be doing this. The real question is, what amazing things will you empower your team to build, to create, and to invent with all of that time back? The possibilities there are just incredible.